Hello everyone. They warned us about Heavy D from Diesel Brothers, but we didn't listen. From a poor kid in Salt Lake City, Utah, to a YouTube sensation with millions of fans. His story looks like the ultimate American dream, but behind the roaring engines and flashy builds lies a darker side: lawsuits, scandals, and secrets that nearly tore everything apart. Was he the mastermind of his own downfall, or just a victim of fame's heavy price? Buckle up, because this ride through David Sparks' world is more shocking than anyone expected. When people first discovered Heavy D online, he wasn't yet a household name. He was just a car enthusiast with a camera. But unlike most, he had a knack for drawing people in. His videos were never just about showing off trucks, they were about sharing a piece of himself. Fans felt like he was speaking directly to them. That connection fueled his rapid growth, and soon his YouTube channel racked up more than 706 million views and over 4 million subscribers. Add to that his Facebook, Instagram, and official merchandise sales, and Heavy D became one of the most recognizable figures in the world of custom vehicles. He turned fun experiments with trucks into a thriving business, a television career, and an empire his fans couldn't get enough of. But behind all that fame was a boy who had once struggled. Born on June 18, 1978, to Lisa Tanner Sparks and her husband, David Sparks, grew up in a family that didn't have much. He earned the nickname Heavy D because of his size as a child, and it stuck with him for life. His father's long battle with a brain tumor eventually ended in tragedy, leaving his mother to raise him and his siblings on her own. Money was tight, and life was far from easy, but Lisa worked tirelessly to ensure her children had an education and a chance at something more. From a young age, David was drawn to cars. Surrounded by car people, he wanted to know everything about engines and mechanics. He pursued studies in welding, mechanics, and fabrication at Weber State University. But college didn't hold him for long. His real classroom was the garage, and that's where his story truly began. He dropped out of university to chase his passion, taking a job at an ATV and motorcycle rental garage. There, he worked under Rich Eggett, a mentor who taught him how to build custom engines and inspired him to dream bigger. Those early lessons pushed David to explore different fields. He worked in construction with his uncle, where he learned to operate heavy equipment, and soon he started his own excavation business. It wasn't glamorous, but it gave him credibility and a solid foundation for what was to come. His first real custom project was a 1977 Yamaha YZ80, and it showed the world what he was capable of. Word spread, and soon he was noticed by someone who would change everything: Chuck Norris. When Norris needed a truck, Heavy D stepped in. At first, Norris was shown the shop's biggest, wildest builds, but instead, he pointed to Heavy D's personal truck, a vehicle Sparks had spent a year perfecting. Though reluctant, Heavy D handed it over, and the truck became a signature ride for the legendary actor. That project didn't just mark the beginning of a new chapter, it also forged a friendship. Suddenly, Heavy D wasn't just another mechanic, he was a man trusted by Chuck Norris. Around that time, David partnered with his best friend Diesel, Dave Kiley. The two had known each other since church events in their youth, and they shared the same love for cars. In 2008, Heavy D hired Dave to help with his construction business, and soon after they co-founded Diesel Sellers and Sparks Motors. Their chemistry was undeniable, and though fans often assumed they were blood brothers, their bond was built on loyalty and shared passion. Their work quickly gained national attention. One of their YouTube clips caught the eye of Jay Leno, who invited them onto The Tonight Show. Not long after, Discovery Channel offered them a reality series. In 2016, Diesel Brothers premiered, showcasing the wild builds and antics of Heavy D, Diesel Dave, and their crew. The show was an instant hit, renewed for multiple seasons, and even expanded into specials like Diesel Brothers, Monster Jam, breaking world records. Fans were captivated by their larger-than-life personalities, their massive truck projects, and the sense of brotherhood at the heart of it all. But as their fame grew, so did the controversies. Rumors began circulating that Diesel Brothers would be canceled, with whispers of shady business practices and behind-the-scenes disputes. Discovery quickly denied the rumors, but soon a bigger problem emerged. In 2016, the environmental group Utah Physicians for Healthy Environment filed a lawsuit against Heavy D and Diesel Dave. They accused them of illegally modifying trucks to produce black smoke, a direct violation of the Clean Air Act. The allegations were no small matter. Investigators claimed that Heavy D and his team at Diesel Sellers had crossed a dangerous line. Tests revealed that their modified trucks produced 36 times the legal limit of pollutants and 21 times the allowed particulate matter. By 2018, emission inspectors were testifying in court, backing up those claims with hard evidence. 2 years later, in 2020, the ruling came down. A judge found the company guilty of violating the Clean Air Act and hit them with a staggering $850,000 fine. For fans who had looked up to Heavy D as a hero, the news landed like a gut punch. But in true Heavy D fashion, he didn't back down from speaking his side. He insisted that every modification was designed for off-road use and that he never intended to harm the environment. He even went as far as pledging that from then on, his team would focus solely on building cleaner, more efficient trucks. Yet the damage to his reputation was undeniable. For the first time, the unstoppable David Sparks seemed vulnerable, and fans were left wondering how their idol had driven himself into such a mess. Still, the controversies only told part of his story. Away from the courtrooms and cameras, Heavy D was a man rooted in family. He met Ashley Bennett Sparks in 2008, fell in love quickly, and by 2010 they were married. Together, they built a family with 3 children: Charlie, May, Bo, and Mac. For all his achievements in business and television, Heavy D often said that being present as a father was his greatest accomplishment. His partner Diesel Dave also endured his own personal storm when his daughter Piper was involved in a horrific car accident. After countless surgeries, she survived, and her recovery became a testament to the resilience shared by the people closest to them. Beyond family, Heavy D showed another side of himself, one of service. During Hurricane Harvey, he mobilized his team to deliver supplies and even flew helicopters into disaster zones to rescue stranded victims. He aided the family of late pilot Wayne Wart, recovering his remains when they couldn't afford professional help. He offered relief during California's snowstorms, hosted annual Christmas toy drives, and even led an 11-day excavation of a 225-foot mine shaft. In the search for missing woman Susan Powell, these weren't publicity stunts. To Heavy D, giving back was his way of proving that his influence could mean more than fame or fortune. Of course, not everyone admired every side of him. In 2020, he proudly showed off his new mansion in Utah, complete with hidden kids' nooks and modern features. Critics accused him of flaunting his wealth, but he brushed them off, saying he had gone from a poor kid with nothing to building his dream home and family. For him, it wasn't about bragging, it was about celebrating how far he had come. Today, David Sparks is more than just a reality TV star. He's a businessman, a certified helicopter pilot, and the co-author of the Diesel Brothers Guide to Trucks and Life. He has explored missions in Bolivia and Brazil, even learning Spanish and Portuguese. He continues to push boundaries with new projects, sponsorships, and collaborations. While he remains tight-lipped about his next big moves, he has promised his fans that whatever comes will be bold, fresh, and unforgettable. Despite the challenges, Heavy D insists on one principle: authenticity. He knows fame can be fleeting, but integrity lasts. He doesn't want to set a bad example for his fans or his children. Instead, he wants to leave behind a legacy of hard work, resilience, and hope. He envisions a future where his content inspires not just truck lovers, but people across the globe. The story of Heavy D is a story of contradictions. A boy from Salt Lake City who became a global name. A best friend who remained loyal to Diesel Dave through fame and scandal. A businessman who stumbled into lawsuits, but also used his influence to help thousands. He is a father, a husband, an entrepreneur, and a dreamer. And while his path hasn't always been smooth, one thing is certain: David Sparks will never stop chasing bigger dreams, louder engines, and new horizons. So, What's your take on Heavy D's journey, redemption, or downfall? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the legends. Your support keeps us bringing you the truth behind the fame.